Make it real quick. We're not anti-women.
I love women.
Just, there you go. Well, let's just start at the beginning here. I have all sorts of highlights and things. When I say highlights, I mean it's things I literally highlighted in the phone version of the Bible. But do y'all have any? First chapter. What do y'all got? Do y'all have anything for the first 10 verses?
Well, they're having a party. I think that's pretty neat.
They are having a party, yeah. I love how it starts with a party.
Right.
And then it starts with this drama. Of like, hey, gal, get over here. You know, I want to show you off. You pretty. You know, and then you have, man, if feminists, you know, like really studied this, they'd probably, you'd probably go nuts.
Oh,
you
they
know?
do.
Because the queen, what was her name? How do you say it?
Vashti.
I would say Vashti.
It almost sounds Indian.
My white man pronunciation is Vashti.
Vashti? Yeah. I want... My inner white man wants to make it Indian. It's almost a bad joke. So a Persian king is an Indian wife. And no.
Jeez.
Yeah, don't look too hard into that.
Moving on.
Yeah, they're having this party. He wants to show her off. And she says no.
Yeah.
And then he goes extreme. It's like, you ain't queen anymore.
Yeah. Well, one thing I find interesting, he seems like a very influenceable king, because literally everything that happens in this story, it's because other people are like, hey, this should happen. He's like, cool, here's my signet ring.
Why not? Yeah.
It's like, what?
Dude, he passed that thing around so much in the story. He's like, oh yeah, you need this? Okay, fine.
And it's like such a significant thing, because once it's signed with a signet ring, you can't take it back. And he's just like, yeah, cool, here, take it.
Take one down, pass it around.
So, yeah, you see that he gets really angry when the queen won't come, but then it's other people that were like, now no women are ever going to respect their husbands ever again, so
I like how that was the reason.
Yeah.
Like, we're gonna start a feminist movement. We don't want this. That's not opinions or anything. That's just, sorry. Yeah. In case there's people watching. You know, Emily's gonna watch this.
You're right.
So
watch yourself.
Yeah.
Keep yourself in check.
Yeah.
I feel like for me, the main thing I saw about this part of the book is it just starts out with, I just thought about like the Me Too movement and all that sexual harassment stuff, and how blatantly I feel like this is like massive amount of like objectification of this woman. And I really like that she did take a stance. Was like, nah, screw that. Like, that's stupid. I can't imagine, like, based on the rest of the book, with like the whole thing about how you can't enter the king's chamber, and if you do, he better like point a staff for you or else you're dead kind of deal. Like, I really think it's cool that she had the courage to do that in the first place. It just sucks that she was then punished. At least she didn't die. Did she die? I don't think she died.
I don't think
she was just kicked out, right? She was not queen anymore.
According to the VeggieTales version.
According to the VeggieTales version.
But like, I don't know. I just like, I saw that and my brain's like, is this objectification and sexual harassment? I'm pretty sure it is. That's messed up.
That is a big stance that a lot of feminists take, that he was like, a lot of them will say that he was abusing her and all those things. But if you read it, like, you don't actually see any of that. And so, I'm not saying you're wrong or you're right. It's just
I definitely think that
reading
into abuse, I feel like, is too far, because you don't know the context. I just definitely see this one specific scenario of literally, it's like, oh, let me bring you in because I want to show people how pretty you are. That I definitely agree that is a feminist interpretation of objectification.
Yeah.
I was in a lot of feminist classes this semester, so unfortunately that's where my brain goes.
All right.
Well, oh crap. Not unfortunate. I don't care. I'm not in the mood to do this right now.
Yeah, make it real quick. We're not anti-women.
I love women.
Just, there you go.
Love women.
The
straw's really hard.
If you want some evidence, I think the Persians were just cool with whoever.
Yeah.
Verse 22. Sorry if I'm like scratching my eye. For some reason, like something got in it earlier, and it's just really itchy. So that's just gonna be me today. What?
Blame Callie.
Oh yeah.
I do.
Probably her hair.
It says, so he sent letters, is verse 22, so he sent letters to all the king's provinces, to each province according to a script, and to every people according to their language. So he even had all this stuff translated for everybody, because he knows, well, we're covering a lot of ground, but we're not gonna force everybody to be like us. It's just kind of do what you want. and that every man should be the master in his house, and so that goes on to what the decree was. But it's just, I thought it was fun. It's like, in your language and how you do it, this is the law now.
Yeah.
I was looking to see if she actually died.
I don't think she does.
I think the
I think she just gets kicked out.
if you go to
Yeah, it just
the
says
right
that
to be a
she's
ruler.
never to come before the king.
oh, okay, because like in verse 1 of the second chapter, I think it says after his anger subsided, he remembered Vashti and what she had done and what had been decreed against her. And then it says, then he starts like the contest for getting a new wife. It's almost like he was like he's like remembering. He's like, yeah, she was pretty cool.
Yeah.
It was nice having a woman around.
He's like, dang it.
Like, and then so he's like, I need another one. I'm like, how do I do this? And then he starts this contest.
I literally saw that whole deal, and I'm like, this is The Bachelor.
Yeah.
This is The Bachelor in like 700 BC. This is insane.
You think there's no drama in the Bible? This is like modern TV right here.
Yeah, it is.
You eat this crap up every week.
But yeah, did y'all have anything else in chapter 1? Or
No, that was
on
me.
2?
I just wanted to be a feminist for a
Okay.
few minutes.
Good.
Yeah.
It's good.
I feel like I achieved that.
Good.
Proud of you.
Feel
empowered.
Yeah!
And then we get to the contest, and then so Esther wins, which there you go. Yep. So you won, and it says you didn't make your people known. Now, would you consider that the whole lack of showing her faith
Yeah.
thing?
Like, it never explains why she did that.
No,
just says
it
she
doesn't.
did.
It's just that she just didn't let that detail happen or make it known.
Yeah.
It's just, I'm Jewish, so what? Like in her mind, it's just
Yeah.
whatever. Y'all, what do y'all think she thought?
Well, so one thought that I had was how, like in verse 20, it's just saying how she obeyed Mordecai as she had when she was under his, when she was as she was when she was brought up by him, and because he had asked her not to reveal that. So it wasn't necessarily her being like, I'm gonna keep this to myself. She was obeying her father figure, I guess, the man in authority over her, and just respecting that. I don't think it was any like, I'm ashamed of it, or any thought like that.
What do y'all
just
think
her being-
Mordecai told her not to?
I have no idea.
That would be where I don't know. Because I definitely agree with what Esther said about, I definitely think it was more of a submission deal. And if Mordecai thinks this is wise and he raised me, he's pretty smart. Yikes. I will do this. I will listen to him and like obey him. But I don't know. I mean, maybe it's like a history thing. Like the Jews don't have a great history of being liked.
They did just get taken out of captivity, so maybe they're just trying to play low.
It's like clearly there's a reason why she hit it like in the end. But I do wonder if maybe it's the history of like Jews being oppressed that made that initial decision, or like I mean it could have been just straight up God told Mordecai to do that, but we just don't know.
Yeah, I can understand why she might want to hide it once her people start getting persecuted. But at the beginning, to me, like, because if she's just listening to Mordecai, it's almost like in his mind, it's kind of like, you know what? Let's just not worry about the whole people group thing, because we just, based on what just happened, we don't know who else is among us, or they might know, but they may not know fully how they feel about Jews. So let's just not even worry about it, because a Persian man marrying Jewish gal, that might stir up some trouble, and so maybe that's why I did it. I don't know, but yeah, that was pretty much chapter 2. What else do y'all have? I have another highlighted thing.
That was the main thing for me as well.
Okay.
And just like not prehistoric bachelor, but like a bachelor.
Pre-Jesus.
Dinosaur bachelor. I give you this velociraptor if you marry me.
Right.
Oh goodness.
I'd do it.
I have this meteor that I found. But yeah, I think the rest of the chapter is just about her finding favor
Oh, and the Mordecai plot, that's where we get the tie-in of, oh, this is why Mordecai lives later, is because he figures this out.
Yeah, I have an interesting, I have some interesting imagery just of that when we get to that part of the story. Didn't make known her people, plot to Mordecai, and then we keep going. It's only 10 chapters, which I love.
It is.
We don't have to make 8 episodes out of this. 3.
Amazing.
Or 2. Then we have Haman. So we had Vashti gets kicked out. Esther becomes queen. Now on Haman, bad guy.
Yeah.
I'm trying to remember why exactly he didn't like the Jews.
I think it was just because Mordecai
It was
didn't
literally-
bow
It was
down.
just
It was
him?
just
Yeah.
like, because
Okay.
Mordecai didn't do this, I hate all Jews.
Oh yeah, it's because somebody else made a thing with the king. He's like, hey, have everybody bow down to you, and the king's like, that sounds good. Here's the ring. That was like another one of those like passing the ring around, and yeah, that's right.
I remember reading that part, and I had this thought. I had this little thought about that. I thought it was super weird. I don't know why there's this trend in the Old Testament, and it might just be the fact that you're telling super long stories in a super condensed form of people getting super pissed super quickly. People getting really upset all of a sudden, doing really drastic things. It could have taken months or like weeks to like get that much anger, but it just seemed like instantaneously, like, oh man, he didn't bow down to me. I'm murdering all the Jews next week. And so my first thought was, why does like a whole people group have to pay for like one man's sin? And then I immediately thought, crap, that's what Adam did to like all of us. Like, dang it, okay, I get it now, never mind. I saw that parallel, I thought that was interesting. Like, oh, but then in this story, Haman sucks and God is good. So there's that opposite trend of it.
I mean, the thing he set up, to kill Mordecai ends up being used on him anyway. So it's funny how it goes right back around. Yeah, it's a little bit of spoilers, I guess. But yeah, that's I think that was chapter 2. But you do make a good point about just studying the Bible. You need to remember that timing is key. That people don't just immediately I'm going to go to Egypt in 2 hours, and I'm going to just release the frogs. Like, it's just like, that doesn't happen. It takes a while.
The only time I
Dumping them
think
out.
that would even be close to happening is like Pharaoh getting his heart hardened. Like God literally like made him behave this way, like at this specific time for this specific reason, and then turned it off.
Yeah.
So that all the cool Red Sea stuff could happen.
Yeah. But
So that we could have a great musical called The Prince of Egypt.
Right.
a great musical.